Hello and welcome back to my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII. In the last episode, we defeated the Kaiser Behemoth and the Rakshasa on our way back here to the XIII step, and now we're going to go and face off against the Ambling Bellows. But along the way, what we're going to do is we're actually going to work our way around the sort of the edges of this large map. So essentially, the edges are largely where most of the enemies of this area sort of reside. We have behemoths, we have these Gorgonospid sort of teams that run around in circles, and we're going to try and take on as many of these battles as possible. Like I've said multiple times already, we want to do as many battles in this game as possible, show that we are supreme over this game, and the best way of doing that is by destroying it. So, Decimation, is this the right for... yes it is right for this. We want to try and grab this preemptive, which should have been simple, but no. He randomly spotted us from behind him, and that makes things a hell of a lot more difficult. We might now lose this, which is no fun. No one likes losing battles. Please tell me I still have Mystic Tower. That's all I care about. Do I still have Mystic Tower? I do have Mystic Tower. Awesome. Get that health back. I'm being kind to you, Behemoth King. Take my health. I was sure that we were going to get this preemptive, but unfortunately we do not, and so the sort of the slugfest that is a battle against the Behemoth King must begin. We'll stay in Mystic Tower until it's obvious that we're just not going to be able to maintain the stagger any longer. You can see how fast Vanille casts compared to Saz, because look, Vanille will probably be finished with her set before Saz is finished with his. Virtually, yeah. Like, that should not be the case. Should not be the case, regardless. Obviously, we're letting Snow do a bit of damage to this guy, which is unfortunate, no, but really we do just need to keep ensuring that we have all of the requisite sort of defensive buffs and all this sort of stuff, everything that we can possibly get in order to ensure that we're in a good position going later on. There are a fair few Behemoth battles. This is probably one of the tougher ones, I would say. Well, no, actually, no. Obviously not. It's a solo Behemoth. There are double Behemoth battles elsewhere on the XIII step, and we certainly won't be doing those. No way are we doing those. So no, that evade was poetry in motion. It was beautiful. As you can see, we are losing our buffs, which is kind of annoying. I probably should have just reapplied haste when I went to Devastation. Sorry, Decimation, I should say. So all we're doing is we're just reapplying haste here to everyone. And then back to Mystic Tower. We might get stagger this time. I know last time we tried to do this strategy, he regained all of his health before we could get the stagger, but it looks good for stagger here. Dare I say it? We're actually going to go Smart Bomb here, because... And now, Snow, if you could... Oh, he misses. Go, 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 Snow! Go! Attack! Launch him! Yes! Now, Vanille, because you're so much faster than me, can you please get into attacking? Come on. He's obviously going to try and transform, but if Snow can kick... Yes! I'm so happy! Oh my god! We get him before he transforms. Wonderful. See? That's why Behemoth battles are easy! Not. Okay. So we're going to try and do this Gorgonospid sort of set. I think there are 4 of them that sort of run around in this sort of loop over and over and over again. Not really a scary battle if it's just 4. We actually even get a preemptive for some reason. I don't know why we were gifted a preemptive, but certainly ain't arguing. We will quake because we can. Have some fun. Annoyingly, obviously, the problem with them being all staggered is that Snow will not resort to the joy of Blitz against these guys, even though Blitz would obviously be amazing with all of these enemies so weak. But no, he will obviously just keep to singular attacks as we wait for Snow to come in, launch, boom, dun 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 dun. So that's the Gorgonospid ring sort of around this area. There is a behemoth that is doing a relatively large loop around that area that we will also want to battle at some point. Want, I guess, is actually a strong word. Have to is better. What we can do is we can actually head around here, and there are lots of flan battles, which, to be honest, should not be that difficult at all. They are just flan. Sorry, whoops. So obviously we don't get the max sort of benefit of that. Again, another reason why slow is worse, because you can't make the most of preemptive strikes, because you don't attack as fast. That being said, we should be fine here. There we go, lovely to see. So you can see this sort of area has, for some reason, there's sort of mist clouding this whole area. Doesn't add anything to the battle, it's just sort of just a scenic thing as we get caught in midair, rather amusingly. Yes, please attack Snow, that is fine by me. We might all get a merge here just because, well, it's so difficult to stop them. Still, these flan are going down pretty fast, which is nice to see, of course. Snow gets the chance to use blinds to get a blind side off there. If you even think about trying to merge, I'm going to kill you. If we can avoid going to a healing paradigm, that would be great. Not that it actually matters at all, but, you know, it's always nice. Beautiful. Nice and simple. Nice and simple 4 flan battle. I think no. Okay, yeah. So we have a dire flan over there, which is slightly more. I wouldn't say worrying, just slightly more threatening. But nice thing about obviously all of these battles is that they give us really nice experience. Continue our progress towards. You know, gaining the ability to really get going with an awful lot of these be really safe in terms of how hard we're attacking a lot of these later enemies. So it's sort of wait no bugger. That's bad. That is bad. It's still staggered, which means we can still launch it with Aora. Which means I'm just going to spam Aora. Do not want you doing that. Man, you just had to freaking merge. It's not going to worry us, but well, there you go. There's your first illustration of a I didn't realise that monstrous flan could. I thought a monstrous flan could only form from a diaflan merging with another diaflan, but it turns out a diaflan merging with a flan gives you a monstrous flan. Which actually makes this next set look a little scarier than it did beforehand. Adrenaline would be nice. Sweet. So it's just a load of abilities. Viraga would be also very nice. This is when we start getting stage 3 spells of our own, which is really nice. We can get Viraga and Blizzaga for Vanille. I'm pretty sure Hope gets Thundaga really early on in his set, which is really useful in the later on when we actually start following the storyline. This time we will start in premeditation, just to try and get some deep protects on. I think that would really help. I don't actually know what's the scariest thing yet. What we should be targeting, as it were. They're all not particularly nice, actually. Go. Bravery and Fire for Snow. Haste and Fire for Vanille. So we have a poison on, which is nice. I reckon we've probably got a fair few D-Protects on as well, which is also very nice. Now let's start murdering these guys. Ow. No. We do not want to see any of that sort of rubbish. Beautiful. That is nice. It seems to sort of, at the point of merging, they seem to sort of inherit the weaker enemy's stats. I mean, by stats I mean like current health and stuff like that, which is really good news for us. Because that just means that it makes it even easier for us to take them out. Obviously, they get back to full health, but then they go down from full health at the speed of a regular flan rather than one of these dire ones. Saz is easily the best character for juggling. Easily the best character. His actions are so slow that they just make him really, really good at juggling enemies. That being said, it's still difficult with slow. As you get a lightning charm. What on earth does that do? It might be like auto in thunder? Occasionally absorbs lightning damage as HP. That is not particularly useful. Collector's Catalog is... it's useful when we'll start grinding, but we won't start grinding for a very long time. There'll be a few enemies later on which we will certainly want to grind, essentially for, not only for items, but also for gil, and the catalogs are very useful in that sense, but we don't have enough accessory slots, nor enough nor enough reason to really need to do that yet. one we could have started in Decimation. Definitely could have started in Decimation. But there we go. Benil, you're attacking the wrong flan. Good. Big power. 6,000 hit points just from that. Lovely. Beautiful. Okay, so now we will just go that. So we've got another set of flan, and I think we're out of this sort of foggy section. Like I said, there is another section largely filled with fog as well, which is primarily inhabited by lots and lots of behemoth groups, and we will not be doing that yet. We can take on one behemoth, but we can't take on two. I mean, we potentially could if we'd have to get really lucky, and it would be a very, very long battle. So I think we'll keep it there. Nice. Okay. Fire, flame strike. Wow, we do so little damage compared to... Well, I suppose we're not boosted and everyone else is, so... So, there we go. We complete this little section. You can see that it's now completely empty. There is the behemoth that will want us... See, I'm wondering because, I mean, we literally ran straight into those Gorgonospids and they gave us a preemptive. I don't know whether the behemoth will do the same. And if it does, that's great, and if it doesn't, that could be a problem. That sounded like a preemptive. Is it preemptive? It is. Awesome. So, what we want to do is we want to start off with getting haste on everyone. And haste. And haste. That did not stagger well. Now we will smart bomb to stagger. We protect. Imperil. Wonderful. And now we want to launch. And just use Saz out of time just to really slow this guy down, and then Snow can come in and launch again. And boom. Lovely, lovely. Preemptive is so nice. Okay, so we head over here and we see some Leyak and some Rangda. Or actually, no, just some Rangda it looks like. We will say Decimation. Stop running away. Not gonna hurt you much. So we already know that these guys are weak to ice and water, so we will use that to our advantage. Doesn't look like we're going to be in too much trouble, especially down there. They're now down to 2. That Rangda that's just walking away. Whenever you see an enemy like this, so a spook, I guess, just walk away from you, you're just like, don't you even think about trying to, summon. But there we go, down they go, lovely. Another battle that took, well, I don't know why they think that should have taken 14 minutes, but there we go. We get a wind charm, which by extension from the lightning charm that we got earlier, we can assume will give us occasionally absorb wind type damage as health occasionally. But I think the occasionally in that sort of negates the fact that it's useful. There is an enemy we certainly can't deal with, being the Ortoids. Is it an Adamantoid or an Adamantortoid? Usually if you go near these guys, there'll be like little dialogue options. Obviously we don't want to battle it, like that would be literally suicide. We would die in the first hit. Come on, we don't want to battle you. Is he going to turn around? Must have a very large turning circle. Can we deal with Navidons? That is an interesting question. This is this enemy here is called a Navidon, I believe. It is obviously an Armadillon type enemy that we've obviously seen many variants on, from Lucidons, Thermodons, and now Navidons. I think these are ice elemental versions of. I don't think they're too difficult. So let's see how we fare. Let's see how we fare. Famous last words. They are Navidons, awesome. Obviously we know nothing about this guy, unfortunately, but we'll just have to start off with that. So, we get some blocks. What have we seen? Jesus, he's doing way too much damage. There we go, okay. He looks really easy to stagger, but he does a hell of a lot of damage. That's what we can gauge from that, I think. So I think Mystic Tower is just going to be perfect for this sort of enemy. He absorbs ice, resistant to, immune to water and air, immune to physical attacks, resistant against magical attacks. That is one hell of a resume. Seeing as we can now launch you, how much damage is that? Literally nothing. So let's try and get some debuffs. Okay, so is that vulnerable to chain bonuses? Vulnerable to fire damage? That must be only once he's staggered. Okay, so Icy Breath, I can imagine is his most dangerous attack. So he's now still immune to ice, so never ever sort of sheds that ice immunity. You might want to use Barfrost, especially because this battle is most certainly going to take longer than Barfrost. Yeah, okay, so with Barfrost that did not do much, thankfully. Looks like the poison damage is doing, obviously, will do a number on this enemy in terms of just like whittling him down really nicely. Just immune to physical attacks, it's really interesting. Okay, so we get the stagger, lovely. Launch, a couple of more hits. See, I don't think I can put in fire on snow straight away because I think because it's resistant at this, when he has the carapace on, I think it will just immediately disappear. Sweet. Okay, so we've got another Navidon over here. Another one we'll try and destroy. That was a very easy preemptive. Very nice to see it. There are easy preemptives to be had here. We will Quake because it slows down the stagger. haste and fire, snow. Go to Smart Bomb for a couple of stages, just to see if we can get that all-important D-Protect on. And then back to Relentless Assault for a last few turns. But there's 800 hit points with just a sort of a basic melee attack. That is pretty crazy. Yes. Okay, so we can kill them with one stagger after that. Lovely. So not too dangerous, it seems. That is an interesting set, actually. So you got Rangda, who are weak to ice, and then the Navadon, which is completely immune to it. Is that 2? 2 Navadon and 3 Rangda. And then 2 Navadon, or maybe a Navadon and 2 Rangda, and then that looks like 2 Navadon. Lots of Navadon in this area. We might not do these battles, like... The one by himself, I mean, we've already taken out those two. The ones by themselves, fine, we can deal with that. 2 at a time might be slightly more, will certainly be more difficult. It might be a bit much for us at the moment, so we're just going to avoid it. No point in taking undue risk. That looks like one by himself, so we'll just sneak up and get that preemptive.
Get that blood racing.
Oh, well done, Daniil. She got all of the important buffs, debuffs, I should say, on. I think now we can be pretty safe just to go a couple of rounds of Relentless Assault should take this guy out. I think. Lovely, lovely. Sweet. Okay, so that is that. We'll go to our Crystarium, seeing as Viniel can definitely get that thing that we were aiming towards. Viraga. On Sab, we have Imperilgar, lovely. Should I get anything new? It gets Ruingar. Sent. What is this? This is counter. Saz, what do you have? We got Adrenaline, then Accessory slot. Accessory is never a bad thing. But we are into the 8,000s by this point around this ring, which is rather frustrating. TS Siphon, we probably want. And Saz also gets Viraga, which is rather interesting. Viraga and then Thundarga, as you would expect, Saz having sort of these two things. Anyway, so that is that. That's it for this area for the moment. So, we have a ring of Seath Stones here, all of which are currently inactive, and this is rather important area later in the game once these stones are active. The purple ones are grade A, I believe, so they're the hardest missions. Obviously we've seen these yellow ones are C, and I think these green ones are B. I might be wrong in those colours, so we'll see. Anyway, we will continue to make our way down. We obviously have that straight in front of us is an Adamantia lid, which is sort of like a, I guess it's like a young Adamantoise. far weaker than an Adamantoise and far less of a threat, which is rather nice. There's an Adamantoise blocking the path down there. You definitely do not want to try that battle. I'm not sure if we can take on the Amphisbaena yet. That's these wyvern type enemies. There are a fair few of them and they're all rather nasty. Could we take on a Megistotherian? I think we can. And we also have... so I've mentioned a couple of episodes ago, I think, that we are going to meet a new type of goblin type enemy, and this is it. These are goblins, just by themselves. In this case, obviously having a little feud with some Gorgonospids. I'm hoping that these goblins... Yeah, the goblins... Unfortunately, we took out those... I don't know why we were aiming at the Gorgonospids first, to be honest. It was really annoying, but there we go. So goblins are far more resistant than the munchkins that we saw, and they do a hell of a lot more damage. Rather than maestros, their leaders are called chieftains, and they are a pain as well. Thankfully, obviously, all of these guys start on half health, so we really don't need to worry about it. So, last one. So what have we learned? Halved lightning damage. So I can't find any information, unfortunately, on the Navidon etymology. Obviously, goblins sort of speaks for itself. A pretty common sort of name for a... So yeah, really nothing for Navidon, which is kind of annoying. So, there we go. So, do we want to do that battle there? Or do we just, because we're running out of time actually this episode, we might just want to head, I mean, you can see that sort of headed from there to there, we might want to rush towards Ambling Bellows. I know, we'll try and do this battle. Screw it, we're here, we might as well. I reckon we have a team that can deal with this. That being said, it will not be easy. So the large guy is called a Megistotherian, I think. And he's pretty threatening. So I'm going to give myself Brave Rain and Frosto, because essentially what we're going to do is that we are going to be taking down the Gorgonospids first.
Follow the old guy's lead.
So as you can see, what that little illustration there is that the Megistotherian actually absorbs ice damage, which means that I lose my own frost, which kind of sucks. So we should actually really attack that Gorgonospid first. So that looks like we're going to be able to take down this one nice and fast. Oh, lovely. Okay, so what have we learned about you? We learned you're resistant to air and immune to ice. You're susceptible to deprotect as well. So we're going to go vigilance, and then obviously we want bravery, vigilance for snow, and vigilance for me. Before we go to smart bomb and really try and pound on this guy. So he obviously does have access to a breath type attack. Just going to go to Mystic Tower just to protect Vanille. Looking a little vulnerable there with the deprotect, but so it looks like this guy's weak to fire. Okay, so far from just a larger. Gorgonospid, he actually has a completely different. Old man still has a completely different sort of resistances and all that sort of stuff. So we defeat the Megastotherian. Just so you know, Megastotherian means literally means greatest beast in Greek. It's also an extinct genus of creodonts. Which I will honestly tell you I have no idea what that means. Obviously some sort of general class of creature. You can see some goblins over there. We are just going to rush through most of this, as like I've said many times, we are going to obviously doing a fair amount of sort of backtracking and sort of exploring this whole area. There's an area over that way, I believe, which has all of the behemoths that I was talking about. We have an Animantulid that just resolutely stands there and protects that item. If we just go map, is this the right way? Yeah. This is also the way we would want to be going if we actually wanted to progress the story, because the main story is actually along this way. Keep heading this way, and then you'll eventually head right from the direction we're looking at. So you can see there is another Megastotherian leading his pack of Gorgonospids. We also have a large behemoth there as well. All enemies we'll have to deal with at some point. So if we go to the map, is it really down? Yes, it is actually. Okay. So, this is the way we would want to go. Here, that battle there is the biggest grinding spot in the game for experience. You get, once you get access to the Lucky Egg, which is an item which doubles the amount of experience you gain per battle, you can get 13,000 experience per attempt at that battle, and it is really, really easy in high levels. In the meantime, though, we have to deal with this guy, and we are actually going to change our battle team. Very briefly, we're actually going to swap you two around and then bring in Fang. We do want protection, we do want solidarity, we do want Mystic Tower, we want to start off with Sab Assassination, we want Relentless Assault, and we also want probably Delta Attack. No, we probably want Decimation as well. Assassination. So, what we really want to, as I actually realised, I have a huge amount of experience to give to Fang. So essentially, yeah, the Ambling Bellows, as I may have mentioned earlier in the previous episode, is an enemy which is entirely physically based, so only uses physical attacks, but is susceptible to pain, and pain blocks you from using physical moves. So if we can land pain, which thankfully we're just about to get hold of, there it is. If we can land pain, then we'll be pretty much golden. Like, there will be nothing he can actually do to us. Daze is also really, really nice. Is that another 4,000? No, 6. 6. Okay, cool. Equipment. Equipment for you. We want that Brawler's wristband and something that resists physical. We'll actually go Whistlewind Scarf. I could go Whistlewind Scarf. We'll start off with Auto Protect just to be safe with this one. Okay, yes, Paradigms. We lead off with Assassination. We try. If we can get Preemptive, that will also really speed up this battle. So, Ambling Bellows. So essentially, the problem with this guy is that he hits really, really hard. So we are literally just going to spam pain as best as we can to try and prevent him from attacking us. There's pain, wonderful. So now for Decimation, to get some haste going. I believe he's weak to electric as well, but I'm not entirely sure. We're going to get Axe Bravery, lovely. I was hoping that we'd actually finish him off really fast, but that has not happened, so... So get the Scourge on. Thankfully, I still think he can't attack us, so we're just going to stay with this for a while longer. So the reason I'm spamming Pain further is because Pain obviously will reset and then will last even longer. I believe Pain is one of a few buffs that tends to run out like slightly faster than like others. Hopefully we will finish. We're doing a pretty nice job though here, it seems. Right, Pain is all we need. It's all we need. Like obviously I could go slow and stuff like that, but as long as Pain is on there. As you can see, he is not attacking us. He cannot attack us. We get Decimation, lovely, we get Stagger. And we finally click that he's weak to Electric, lovely, launch. Sweet, lovely. So that was a really nice battle. Obviously, comes from like just knowing your enemy, knowing the, knowing what you're facing up against. Really helps in that sort of situation. So we defeat the Ambling Bellows. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII, and I hope you'll join me on the next where we will be working our way backwards because we have more Mark missions to do. We want to do as many of those as we can before progressing with the story. So I hope you'll join me on the next episode where I think we'll start maybe going into the Chocobo section. There is a small Chocobo section. I think that might be the next mission, but I might be wrong, so don't hold me to account on that. But I hope to see you on the next episode.